So this is a topic I've been contemplating on and off for years, really. This great paradox that we are all it and still this flickering, this apparent forgetting. It is true that the understanding that we are always it and that we never lost it, and there is no journey from A to B to get there, because we are already home, as I've shared many times with you. Of course, all of that is true. We cannot get to somewhere where we already are. Absolutely. Nevertheless, there is a reason why in some traditions, even in some non-dual traditions like Kashmir Shaivism, they speak sometimes of stages of consciousness or something like that. Yeah. The states of the mind, waking, dreaming, sleeping, the awakening, the glimpse, the living understanding of I am awareness, Turiya, the fourth state, it's called in India. I am knowing knowingly that I am awareness and not this body-mind, not the states of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. The glimpse is there, and as I said, it's instantaneous, it's full. The knowing of that awareness of this Turiya is full, it's whole, it's complete, but still there are coming following stages. Why is that? And there is cosmic consciousness, and there is God consciousness, and then there is unity consciousness, if I got them still together right. I haven't spoken a long time about them. Even in non-dual tradition, this is always, of course, a clumsy way to describe the undescribable, but it is this living experience that when we get this glimpse, when it's a real revealing or an unveiling of Maya, then we catch the flow. It's an moment of no time and space that will change our lives forever and has changed. I would say all of our lives being here together. And then comes this flickering. So consciousness is still pretending or gives still to itself the power of creating veils of separation in our experience. We could say from the perspective of the person, of the human, these stages of consciousness make sense. But even that is not really true, because there is no such thing as a person. the person does not experience anything. It's consciousness, awareness, experiencing itself in different clarity, we could say. Which then leads to these rather exotic names of cosmic consciousness, God consciousness, unity consciousness. We might look into those at another time in more depth. For me, more what I want to convey is that undoubtedly, even the transparency, the knowing, the jnana, the ordinariness of our being is unchanging. We have built in these different layers of magic veiling to our experience so we can have a very clear understanding of ourselves and still feeling separate from other people. We can have a very clear feeling and understanding of ourselves and still believing that there are things, separate things, or that there is a God out there with which I have to unite, to become one with. It's not so much to try to fit myself in one of these boxes, in one of these stages of consciousness. That is rather an obstacle. It's rather about this honesty within myself, this openness with myself, to which degree this universality, this openness, this non-suffering, untouched being is my experience. We could say my human experience, but as you know, there is no difference in the end between the human and universal consciousness. And that is, in a way, this unity consciousness, which points to Sahaj Samadhi, the non-state. There's no state, it's just consciousness humaning or humaning consciousnessing. No separation, no conflict, no suffering, beauty, truth, love. Too often I have seen in Tiru especially this kind of downgrading, we could almost say, of this universality, of this magic of consciousness, this downgrading certain levels to accept them, certain limitations in our experience, to then eventually accept them as real. as being something else than consciousness, so to speak. But here with all of you enlightened fellows, so to speak, we're diving deeper and deeper and deeper, and there we want to kind of make sure that we don't put up any borders, any limitations to what we are. And these stages, in a way, they point to that there are certain levels of understanding or level of integration where we reach a plateau in our experience that remains active, so to speak. That the flickering stops. When the flickering stops, just as an example, when the turiya, the knowingly knowing to be this awareness, this silence, becomes continuous, which it always is, of course, but in our experience, when it reaches the continuity, it's always available, so to speak. And the stream of consciousness is always there, at that time still as a silent background, always revealed. The default has been switched completely to this awareness. It's always available. Then this is called cosmic consciousness. And even the consciousness is the same, the cosmic consciousness and the unity consciousness and the God consciousness and the human consciousness and the tree consciousness and the cat consciousness, even they're all the same, they reveal this Maya that has concealed, reveals to itself, consciousness reveals to itself in a way, in stages, permanently, different degrees of a living experiential understanding. There we think, see, feel, perceive, in line, act, in line with our understanding of universal consciousness. That's also a way to look. Even, of course, the one way is that there is no end to this infinity of love and understanding. Another way to look at it is that, yes, in this game of consciousness, playing with ourselves, some sages, saints, masters, gardeners, parents, shepherds, fishes have established themselves or have allowed to gave permission by continuous openness, by never allowing to believe, oh, now I'm done, now I'm enlightened, now I'm la la la. But by staying open as we are, as consciousness, allow this penetration of this consciousness to reach, to touch, to truly touch our hearts, our bodies, our relationships, our work, to really stay open to, not that we're looking for ignorance. God, no. Not that we're looking for problems. No, not that we're looking, oh my God, I'm still not pure, I'm still not enough. We spoke about that at length. That's not what I mean, but this true openness to not knowing, never really knowing fully in the sense of concepts, of ideas, of memory, never truly holding on to anything where I am, who I am, what I reach. This total openness will allow in this game of revealing and concealing to touch everything in us.